All right, I'm going to go over some simple psychology and why you've been doing what you've been doing and how you actually can change. So with hypnosis, I'm talking about hypnosis now. Our brain. We have a left side of our brain and our right side of our brain. Our left side of our brain is our logical side, which is our speech and our mathematics. Our right side of our brain is emotion. Again, our left side is logical, our right side is emotion. Now, there was a scientist, his name was Emeril Coué. He did a study, and he discovered that when there is a conflict between the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, which is the logical and the emotional side, the emotional always wins. If there is a conflict between your logical side of your brain and your emotional side of your brain, your emotional always wins. All right, and right in between those two hemispheres is this thing called the amygdala. The amygdala goes like this all the time. Fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze. It's right in there, in between the left side and the right side. Now, I'm going to prove to you about how the emotional side always wins. So go ahead, stick out your hand. Now, close your eyes. All right, now just pretend that there is something hot, sticky, and smelly in your hand right now. I want you to feel that sticky, smelly thing that's in your hand on the palm of your hand and just oozing through your fingertips and into your fingernails. Just see what that feels like. Just pretend what that feels like right now. Good. Now I want you to take your hand with that hot, smelly, sticky thing, and I want you to bring it up under your nose, and I want you to pretend what it is like to smell it. So go take a big whiff of it and smell. Let it get into your system, into your olfactories, into your nose, and smell what that thing smells like. That hot, smelly, sticky, wet thing. And now, just now, go ahead and stick out that tongue and taste it. Just pretend to taste it. Good. Right now. All right, 3, 2, 1, open your eyes. Now, did you feel that thing in your hand? Did you feel the weight of it? Did you feel how it was hot and slimy and how it got into your fingertips? Ugh. Did you smell it when it came up? Were you able to taste it when you licked it? What was that like? All right. Okay, so here's my point. Could you? Yes, you could. So that is emotional side. Now, when you're looking at your hand, there's nothing in your hand, right? That's the logical side. That's the logical side, your left side. But when I asked you to pretend to do all that, that was the right side. You could do all that. So what happened? The emotional side, the imagination actually did win the day, right? All right. So let's now go back and just think about that stuff that's in your hand, that was in your hand. Those are our negative stressors, strains, the things that happen to us in life. It's all our it happens to us, but it all is imagination. It stays in our head. All right, now let's get back to what was in the middle. The amygdala. The amygdala is always going fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze. It does this all day long when you're sleeping and everything else. It just helps protect our body, helps protect us. So when you were a kid and you put your hand on a hot stove, your body learned not to do that again. This taught you not to do that again. But sometimes in life can sometimes be hard, right? Those things add up. Sometimes it's just not sticking our hand on a hot plate. It's deaths in the family. It's something happened at your work. It is maybe fights that you're having with your spouse or your significant other. Your children getting on your nerves. And these things build up. And when they build up like this, and this can't contract anymore, what happens is this is sending off signals into our body all the time. So these kind of signals that it's sending off is kind of like electrical impulses, cortisones and steroids and all this stuff that is going off all the time while it's expanded. So what my job as a hypnotist is to do is to take out those negative things that have built up in your amygdala. Take out those negative emotions, those negative negative feelings, negative sensations, taking them out one by one, taking out what that emotion was when you got into a fight with your spouse, taking out that negative emotion of the death of a family member, taking out that negative stress or strain, taking it out until it's going back into fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, the normality of it. So that's what my job is to do, is to get that to do that. And then when we're able to do that, we're able to take out all of those negative emotions that have been building up and building up and building up. Then you can deal with things a lot better. Then you're able to, because all those negative emotions and negative feelings and negative images and negative sensations are gone, you're able to actually focus. You're able to not have weight gain. You're able to not have addictions. You're able to not have things that pain in your body, and a lot more. So that is just a simple explanation of what hypnosis can actually do and how you can change. And it is a very positive and wonderful thing. All right, thank you. Have a good night. Goodbye.